How do I run my YouTube channel and how do I make money from it? In this video, I'm going to quickly take you through all the steps. So if you are thinking of setting up a YouTube channel, you'll understand all the things you need to think about. It's not particularly complicated, and I'll also tell you about the course that I run. So what I'm going to cover in this quick video is, first of all, the steps I take, and it's not that many. It's not particularly complicated. There's one really important thing to think about. I'm going to show you the equipment that I use. It's very cheap to start up a channel. You don't need to spend a lot of money, and even now probably the total expenditure is probably even less than £1,000. Number 3 is the most important though. You've got to have a good idea, and I'm going to tell you that even today, if you come up with a good idea and put it out on YouTube, you can still do really well. Channels can get moving. It does take a bit of time, but it definitely can work, and I've worked with organizations that have done it. I'm going to tell you how you generate an income, and you're going to be really surprised. It's not about necessarily the money that comes from YouTube. It's the marketing opportunity. You can have a really small channel for, say, a language teacher, where you put up videos and you only get a couple of hundred people watching them, but in that video you advertise yourself as a teacher, and people can click on the link and contact you, and you can do really well. I have quite a few teachers that have done that. Even with just a couple of hundred people watching their YouTube channel, they are generating a really good income because they're getting loads of private language classes. And then the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about my course in case you're interested in doing it. So you can see the steps on the screen. Obviously I think I have an idea. I then study it, and I've often done some actual classes with the particular technology that I want to use. I then plan my video, I then do the recording. I always do it in little bits and I put them all together. I then edit it. That's a really important aspect of it, and obviously the better you get at editing, the more or the better quality your video will become. But the most important thing is the magic I do at the end. In other words, when I put the video up onto YouTube, there are certain things that I do, and that's one of the key parts of this course. I'm going to show you how you make sure that YouTube knows exactly what your video is about, and there's a number of things that you can do to do that. Now what that means is that when someone searches for a video, your video will be suggested by YouTube, because YouTube says, yep, that's what that video is about. That's the one to show to everybody. That is the key. That's where the magic takes place. That's taken me years of studying. I still study it now. I try to pick up on all the latest things that are going on, and it really is the thing that makes the difference. The great thing about YouTube is that you don't really need to spend a lot of money. You need a computer, you need a webcam, you need a microphone, you need some lighting, and you need to be able to edit the video. YouTube channel's free to upload your videos, so there's no cost there. Now obviously what you can do is start cheap, and that's exactly what I did, and really just used basically the computer that I had and the equipment that I had. And then I started to spend more money. I bought a better microphone, I bought a better webcam, I bought some lighting. But even today I've spent less than £1,000 on everything, and at the beginning I literally didn't spend anything. I didn't need to. I had a computer and I had a webcam and a microphone already. Probably the first thing that you would do if you were going to spend some money is probably buy yourself a good microphone. It does make a difference, and you can get a good microphone these days for around about £60. The one that I use is slightly more expensive, but actually these days there are some that are even cheaper that are just as good. So it's not particularly expensive to start, and that's one of the reasons why I would encourage people to think about doing it, because it's a great way of starting a business, and if it doesn't work, you've not lost a lot of money. The key thing is to have a good idea. You need something niche. It can definitely be in the area where there are already videos. You don't have to do something completely original, but you need to find a new angle on it. Remember, there are billions of people searching for videos, so you've always got a good chance. If you've got a particular niche, you've got to be a bit patient. It does take time to build up the channel, but as I've said, if you're clever with your advertising within the videos that you make, you will instantly begin to make money from YouTube. Don't think of the income from YouTube as the most important thing, but yes, it's vital to have a good idea, to have a good angle, and probably it's also important to be quite consistent. So once you've decided what you want to do, what you want to focus on in your videos, stick to it. That's really, really important, because that way you'll build up a following around that particular topic and theme. So of course you can generate good money from YouTube, there's no doubt about it. If you get a really popular channel, I mean if you get perhaps 100,000 subscribers and people regularly watching your channel, you could earn thousands from your channel. For me, the money that I get from YouTube is, well, it's not insignificant, it's a decent amount of money, but the key thing really is all the business that it generates around it. So I get lots of opportunities to do consultancy work for companies. I often work with companies that are developing software. They want me to trial and test and pilot their material, their software, etc. I get lots of one-on-one training around things like Camtasia. I've even actually worked with a couple of quite well-known people. I've done obviously training in using things like Camtasia for organizations, going in and helping them to build training courses. Law firms, banking firms, not necessarily always people working in education, but often in training, company training. Obviously I get lots of talks, I get opportunities to do presentations and talks around using technology in language teaching. I also even get the opportunity to write articles about the use of technology. So that YouTube channel ends up generating lots of business for me and lots of a nice variety of things. So the YouTube channel, yes, there is some money coming in there. You have to get to a certain number of subscribers before you can monetize your channel, but that really doesn't matter. As I've said right from the start, even before you monetize your channel, make sure that in your videos you're pointing out, let's say you're a language teacher, listen, if you want language lessons with me, click on the link below. You can generate an income that way almost immediately from your channel. And as I've said, I've worked with several teachers and they've all managed to achieve that. Just one really important point here, don't be impressed with the channels that you see that have millions of views. Often they've spent a lot of money on advertising. I know that because I've done some consultancy with a few of those organizations. I've never spent a penny on advertising my YouTube channel. Everything's been generated by me making videos and then sharing them on Twitter, LinkedIn and Facebook. So you're not competing with people that get 3 million views of a video. What you want to do is build up and get a regular 200, 300, 400 people watching your videos, and you will be able to generate an income off the back of that if you've put something in the video to advertise whatever it is that you are offering. That is the key thing. So the course I run has got two parts. First of all, there's a webinar. That webinar lasts about an hour and a half. There's often a lot of questions to answer, so I kind of present the key things that you need to understand to run our YouTube channel, and I give away a lot of the secrets. And I do recommend one piece of software. It's very cheap. It's around $5 or $6, the one that I use. There are a few that you can choose. If you do the course, you'll see why that piece of software is so useful. So you do a webinar with me, which I give you a recording of, so you can access and play that recording back. And I also give you access to a little course that I've built where I've collected together some of my own videos on how to build a channel, but also collected together some other videos from other people that I found really useful, that kind of goes through all the different things that I've explained in the webinar, but in a little bit more detail, so you can study on them and work at your own pace. Between those two components, you will have a solid grounding and be able to get going. Now, it does mean, of course, if you start your own YouTube channel, you do need to keep up with all the changes, because things do change, but I promise you that will give you a really solid understanding of what it's going to cost you, how it's done, and how to be effective right from the start. I can't emphasize how important that is. Really hope you decide to join me. Details are below, and we will be running a course very soon.